Arjun was a bright-eyed, enthusiastic college student who had recently moved into the old, imposing Delhi College hostel. The hostel was known for its rich history and its many legends, but Arjun was more interested in making new friends and studying for his exams than in ghost stories. One night, Arjun was woken up by a strange noise coming from the hallway. He sat up in his bed and listened intently. The noise sounded like footsteps, but they were very soft and light, as if someone was trying to walk silently. Arjun's heart started to race. He didn't want to believe in ghosts, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. He slowly got out of bed and crept towards the door, his hand trembling as he reached for the doorknob. As he opened the door, a cold gust of wind swept through the hallway, sending a chill down Arjun's spine. He peered out into the darkness, but he couldn't see anything. The footsteps had stopped, and the hallway was eerily silent. Arjun closed the door and went back to bed, but he couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the footsteps and the strange feeling he had felt in the hallway. The next night, the footsteps were back. This time, they were louder, and they sounded like they were coming from directly outside Arjun's room. Arjun's heart pounded in his chest, and he felt a wave of terror wash over him. He pulled the covers over his head and tried to block out the sound of the footsteps, but they were getting closer and closer. He could hear them just outside his door now, and he felt a cold dread grip him. Suddenly, the doorknob started to turn. Arjun squeezed his eyes shut and held his breath. The door creaked open slowly, and a dark figure emerged from the shadows. The figure was tall and thin, with long, flowing hair and piercing red eyes. It stood in the doorway for a moment, staring at Arjun, and then it let out a blood-curdling scream. Arjun screamed back and jumped out of bed. He ran for the door, but the figure blocked his way. It reached out with its long, bony fingers and grabbed Arjun by the throat. Arjun struggled to breathe, but the figure's grip was too strong. He felt his life ebbing away as the figure's eyes glowed red with hunger. Just when Arjun thought he was going to die, he heard a loud crash from behind him. He turned to see that a large piece of the ceiling had fallen down, crushing the figure under its weight. Arjun was stunned. He watched in disbelief as the figure slowly disintegrated into dust. The door creaked shut, and the hallway was once again plunged into darkness. Arjun fell to his knees and sobbed. He was alive, but he would never forget what he had seen. He knew now that the legends of the Delhi College hostel were true. There was something evil lurking in the shadows, and he had just barely escaped its grasp. Arjun never returned to his room in the hostel. He moved out the next day and found a new place to live. He never told anyone what he had seen, but he knew that he would never be the same again. The experience had changed him, and he would always live in fear of the dark.